Some folks are born made to wave the flag. Oh, the red, white, and blue. Well, it's been a place held to achieve. Oh, I point a can at you, Lord. Yeah. And me, ain't no fortunate son. Oh, yeah. And me, ain't no fortunate one. Why is it that singing high notes can be so difficult for some people and yet so easy for others? Let's talk about it. Now let's first establish in basic terms how the voice works. You've got your low voice with which you speak, which is called your chest voice, and then you can go up into this kind of a falsetto sound, and now you're in your head voice. And when you sing high notes, actually you want to be using that high voice, but make it full. And you can make it full by establishing good chord closure in that higher range. So how do we do that? The way we do that is this. We need to learn to transition from one to another, but without losing the grip on our vocal cords. So a good way to do this would be to start off with a low vocal fry, so this sound, and then try to move it up. Very light, and you want to keep that squeeze, that little bit of squeeze that you've got when the chords are in the fry coordination. And when you come back down, you're going to notice that there is a little bit of connection happening. And then once you get a little bit more familiar with it, then what you can start to do is adding from your diaphragm, adding some breath support to that sound on top. So when you go, what you need to be aware of is the fact that we are really using a minuscule amount of air, almost no air. This is very important. But we are transitioning from one voice to another. So we're going from chest voice to head voice. I am not trying to carry the weight of the chest voice up. In other words, if you try to sing the same way that you sing low on top, it's not going to work. You can't just go, and then trying to maintain all the weight up there. It is basically impossible to do. If you want a solid voice up top, you need to be using your head voice, but in a way that enables you to close the chords, close the vocal cords together. So you need to use very little air. I am gripping my chords together. This is something that a lot of vocal teachers don't ever talk about. But when you actually go high, you need to go into a little bit of a tighter coordination here. So you want to actually hold your vocal cords together a little bit. Not too much, it's a pretty gentle squeeze, but especially in the beginning, you want to feel like you're putting in some work here. But here, really, only the vocal cords. We don't want anything other popping out. You need to check here, those muscles underneath the chin, they cannot engage and help out. Okay? You need to be checking this. This is just vocal freedom. And then you can do whatever the hell you want to do. Ready to feel real love, feel like ever after. You can sing songs that you previously thought were impossible for you to sing once you get that simple principle. You can do harsh vocals, you can do rasp, you can do whatever the hell you want once your vocal cords can stay together and once you're not overblowing the air. Suddenly, you don't have to try, you don't have to push very hard for it all to just click and work. Once you get a grasp of this coordination, you can really make it. It can really happen, and it's not as difficult as you might initially think it is. But it is important to get that coordination right. If you have any questions, definitely leave them down in the comments. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications, because these videos are going to keep coming. I've got some great tips coming your way. So have a great day.